Hi there, I'm Kevin from Rebuilders. If you're watching this, you've likely taken the brave first step towards healing after divorce. Today, we're exploring the Getting Started exercise from our Divorce Recovery Workbook, the foundational tool that sets the stage for your entire recovery journey. Whether you're feeling overwhelmed by where to begin or unsure if recovery is even possible, or simply looking for a structured approach to healing, this exercise provides you the framework you need to move forward with confidence. The Getting Started exercise addresses the most common question people have after divorce. How do I even begin to rebuild my life? Let me walk you through how this works and why it's so effective. What we do is in the first here is we're just looking at helping people you understand, divorce is it really is traumatic. It can be a really, really profound thing. And I think for people out there who haven't gone through divorce, it's really, they don't realize how deep these are. And so, some of the things that we talk about here is just understanding some of the effects that people going through it. So, the parenting ability, depression, it affects your sleep, difficulty focusing, loss of friends. So these kinds of things, what we see a lot of times is that people that do our programs say one of the most powerful things, not all of it, but one of the aspects is that it is so nice to be around people going through divorce. Why? Because we tend to think that we're all alone, that we are in this place where we think nobody else really understands. Some people say that they're the first among their group of friends that they have to get divorced. And so sometimes it feels like nobody really understands how difficult this is. Now, one of the things is that there's this quote that we use a lot throughout our programs, which is, we must let go of the life we planned in order to embrace the life that is waiting for us. This is by Joseph Campbell. And it's profound because it really does get to the core for a lot of people is that they get to this point in their divorce or in the marriage where things start to fall apart. And it's a natural reaction to want to go back to kind of what happened before. What was I don't want to be in this place where everything is falling apart and where it's a mess. And so we want to go back to the way it was. But the reality is that once things start to fall apart, once trust is broken, once disconnection starts, you can't go back to the way it was. There's just too much stuff. That is where, this quote we find is just, for a lot of people, they come back to this and they keep reading this and reminding themselves, I can't go back to the way it was. I can't, even reconciliation, if that's what you're looking for, it can't be that you return to just what it was. A lot of times when people get to the point where divorce is spoken, even, it is gotten to the point where things are very serious, and the hurt, the changes, the effects on the family or the relationship are too profound to just say, never mind, we'll go back to the way it was. We put this in here because it is probably one of the most powerful quotes that we see that people struggle with when they first start off. Now, there is on the next page, there is this option for things you can do today. And so I mentioned this in the first video, but the biggest one is take the self-test on our website. It's free. There's nothing you have to sign up for. All you do is you answer a bunch of questions, and it actually does a bunch of math and helps you understand how you're doing relative to other people who've taken the test. And I don't know how many we have on this list, but it's more than 10,000 people have taken this test. And so it's a percentile score that you get for 6 key areas on how you're doing. And it actually gives you an analysis of where to focus on, what to do, things that you can do to get started. It's really, really powerful in terms of helping you get started and giving you a plan for what do you do next. It gives you a chart. What else? There's videos that explain the different pieces of it. There is just a lot in there, and it's all completely free, nothing you have to do. You can turn it off anytime and unsubscribe. It's not a big deal. It's just we try and give you all of these things because we know how hard it is. So if once you take that, you can actually fill in your scores in the workbook. And you can then come back and reference those in other exercises, because some of the other exercises will ask you, what was your score here? And so it's nice just to have it in one place. So that is the basic introduction of what we're doing and why on these first 2 pages. I remember working with a client who felt completely paralyzed after her divorce, told me, I don't even know where to start. Everything feels broken. And after completing just some of these simple exercises and the self-test, she said she finally had a roadmap that made recovery feel possible instead of overwhelming. If you're finding this helpful so far, make sure you subscribe to this channel for more divorce recovery guidance. Now let's continue with how to apply this to your specific situation. This getting started exercise is just one of over 60 powerful tools included in the divorce recovery workbook. The idea is that it gives you a clear roadmap for moving forward, exercises that you can use to start understanding what's going on inside of you and actually process these things in a way that allows you to move on. We provide a clear, structured pathway that helps you move from overwhelm to clarity. The workbook guides you step by step through the recovery process, addressing emotional healing, identity rebuilding, and practical life reconstruction. So I hope this explanation of the getting started exercises was helpful for you. Look for the next videos on that we'll talk about as we start to get into the workbook in more detail. Remember, you don't have to figure everything out at once. You just need to know your next step. If you found this helpful, please click on the thumbs up for this video, like, or subscribe. We're going to do a lot more of these videos to help you understand all of the different pieces of what it takes to actually recover and move forward. The Complete Rebuilders Divorce Recovery Workbook is available on Amazon. I put the link below so that you can get to that. And it is just full of lots of exercises and things to help you in this difficult time in your life. Thanks for being here. See you in the next video.